So in this video, I wanted to share about heart and brain coherence and maybe why it isn't working out for you. So heart-brain coherence was initially brought in by this organization called HeartMath, and later was more popularized by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And essentially it goes by saying is that when we're able to get to a place of non-resistance with ourselves, where our thoughts and our feelings have lessened to such a degree that we access this place called 0 point energy field. And that's just a quantum mechanic term that essentially is saying that there is less resistance from the vibration inside you to the field of energy that is inside you and all around you. Because we are, if you choose to believe it or not, we are just a field of energy interacting with other fields of energy throughout the universe. And so when we are in heart-brain coherence, what we're essentially doing is we're getting to a place where we have released all our thoughts, all our feelings about who we are, what we are, detached from our life, from our world. So we're no longer thinking about the many things of our day or the problems we're having or the responsibilities. We're able to just simply drop into this quiet, still place. And in that place, we're able to access greater degrees of energy. Now, for a lot of us, this sounds amazing, and you've probably read a lot of books like Dr. Joe Dispenza's, where he talks about the healing potential when we're able to not only access 0 point energy field, but also where we're able to develop this coherence between the heart, the field of our heart, and the field of our brain. So when we access that, all of a sudden there's this beautiful communication that starts to be generated between first the heart field in the center here, and then it starts to activate or communicate more efficiently with the brain, sending messages, sending frequencies, possibilities into the brain, and together they work into this homeostatic way where the body actually moves into higher states of efficiency. And this is where we can move out of that fight or flight, sympathetic, and move into rest, digest, and healing. This is where the healing, the magic healing, happens. Now, for a lot of us, that sounds amazing, but getting there is another whole thing. So how do we actually access this heart coherence with our brain? Well, the first thing we have to recognize is that not only our thoughts and our feelings, that they have an energy, they have a frequency. And for a lot of us, we get stuck, we get held, identified with that. We attach ourselves, our consciousness, which is normally just neutral, sticks to these ideas as if they are real. And for a lot of us, we identify ourselves as those thoughts, those feelings. But the truth of the matter is, that is not who you are. Those are just an illusionary perception of who and what you really are. And so when we're having a hard time dropping into our heart or accessing this coherence, what we need to first look at is, where are the places that keep repeating for us? Like for me on my healing journey, one of the things that was not so obvious at first, but as I started to relax and drop into myself, there was this overwhelming sense of like fear and terror that was just pervasive in the background. And it's like, what's that? Like, where is that coming from? Because right now in my reality, I don't feel like that. But in the backdrop, there's just this gloom and doom there. And it wasn't until I really got curious to it, till I really started to welcome it here in my space rather than pushing it aside. No, I just want heart brain coherence. Get out of here. Like, I just want to feel good and joy and uplifted. That didn't work. And it probably isn't working for you either. So what I'd say is look at the backdrop of what's in your field. And maybe there is fear, maybe there is sadness, maybe there's guilt or shame that's lingering there. Your job is to welcome it, to embrace it in, to breathe into it, to feel it and experience it through your body, because that is what you have. Breathe into it, feel it, let it live, and let go of any fear or hesitation you have about this is like overwhelming me, this is too much. Because whatever hit you couldn't have missed you. You are more than capable of handling it. So go ahead and welcome it in. Take a breath in, let it come in. Now, don't expect this all to happen all at once. This takes time. It takes a process of allowing it to be here, accepting it to be here, breathing it through. And it may take a few times before you start actually getting some momentum and movement of this energy moving through your system. But once it lifts, then you're able to drop in a much deeper capacity into your heart and access this coherence that we hear so much about and where the miracles really happen. So my advice to you is, if you're having trouble doing this, look at the backdrop of what you are, who you are, what is there when you get into a calm, still place. Is there still some anxiety that bubbles up? Is there still some fear? Is there still some guilt? If that is the case, then do your best to welcome that into the space. Because in fact, that is the catalyst of the heart. The heart is non-judgmental. The heart welcomes all. And so you just have to activate that by you welcoming it into this space. And as you do, it will move through. And as it moves through, then you will catapult up to your next level of not only experiencing the best of you, the joy, the happiness, but the healing will happen naturally. And when this happens, it's phenomenal. When I do this with my clients regularly, they're always like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. Like 20 years of this trauma I've been carrying all of a sudden just lifts. And I'm able to experience a whole new level of peace that has not been there. So if this is something that resonates with you and you're wanting more help building your heart coherence with your brain, I've got a video below, check it out. I'd love for you to see what some of the other clients and testimonials that are on there that you can see, and see how this can be a profound way to start your transformation, the change you want in your health and your healing. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all next week. Peace, everyone.